Hello people, in this lesson we are going to address the patch replacer, that tool that we use to remove things from shots, noise, objects, etc. So it's important to mention that there are two ways to approach the patch replacer. One of them is on the color page to remove things that are static, and the other one on Fusion page to remove things that are in motion. So let's get to it. So here we are on the timeline. I'm going to approach these two clips over here. This is a static case, and this other one has an element that is in motion. No? So let's start with the tougher way, that is to remove these headphones over here from the shot. You can see that headphones are in motion. So first of all, we must create a Fusion clip out of this clip. So we must click on the right mouse button, new Fusion clip, and that's it. We have our Fusion clip created, So we go straight forward to open in Fusion page. So what we need to do is look for the patch replacer node right here, patch replacer, and I'm going to move to the first frame, and I'm going to set a target and a source. I'm going to position this on the object I want to remove. In this case is this headphone over here, and my source is going to be this. I have to position the patch replacer on top of this yellow wire, because we want to remove the noise from this media clip. I have to go to the inspector right here, and we are going to move this blend clone to clone, and I'm going to move this parameter blur edges. Once you have selected all the objects you want to remove, and also the source that is going to be this curl over here, we must track this area right here. So we're going to use a tracker, and this tracker is supposed to track the ear position, So I'm going to detach this from here. I'm going to place this tracker right here, and I'm going to track the headphones. I'm going to close this other monitor, and I'm going to position the tracker selector right here. And I'm going to click track forward and reverse. Perfect. We have already tracked the ear. Now we need to track this curl over here. So I need another tracker. I'm going to position this tracker right here, and I'm going to track some point on the hair that we may use to remove the ear. So I'm going to move the selector up to some place right here. I think that this point is useful. And I'm going to click on track, reverse, and forward. Okay, that's great. Now I'm going to move this patch replacer on top of this. I'm going to set the target position first with the tracker inside the tracker path position. You can see that. And I'm going to set the source position. And that's it. I'm going to check this again. And that looks great, because actually we can modify this as if it were a shadow. And I'm going to go back to the timeline, and we can see this. It's a very efficient way to remove that. It's as if this curl were covering the ear, You are not able to detect that there is a patch replacer there, if you were watching the music video, Obviously, there are imperfections that we are not able to fix. For example, at the end, this is a very realistic limitation, because since the face is changing the perspective, the target detector is way out of the hair and detecting the light, But we always have the chance to crop a little bit the clip. This another example is easier. You just have to go to the color page. You must add a serial node and look for the patch replacer on this browser. You're going to close this. And for example, if you want to remove this man over here, it's the same principle. You have a source and a target, You're able to see here on the spectre all the parameters. You're able to hide this and to blur the edges, and that's it. I mean, this is very simple. It's way easier than the Fusion case. You can notice that, for example, this lens noise over here, And we can use this. I'm gonna unfold this. I'm gonna hide this, and we can blur the edges. So you can add several nodes to remove every single noise, every single object you want from the shot. For example, I'm gonna remove this another thing over here. I'm gonna hide the selectors, blur the edges. Okay, that's it. So if the image is static, you are able to remove every single thing with the cutter page, small elements or lens noises. Of course, the clip must have certain conditions to make the patch replacer works properly, that the point of view doesn't change dramatically throughout the clip, but you are able to follow whatever you want to remove. And in this case of the hair, is a very complex hair because its nature is irregular, you know. So far so good. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I know that this tool is going to be very useful for you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want to learn more about DaVinci Resolve, VFX, and filmmaking. I will also leave the full link to my DaVinci Resolve and VFX course in the description below. So I see you in the next lesson.